April 18, 2016. Midlothian, Texas. A quiet, rain-soaked morning in a sleepy suburban town. At 4 a.m, a mother of 3 arrives at a local church to set up for a fitness class. She thinks she is alone. She thinks it is just another Monday, but inside the dark, empty halls of the church, a predator is waiting. When her students arrive, they do not find a workout. They find a bloodbath. 45-year-old Missy Bevers is dead, and the killer? They were caught on camera, but the footage didn't provide answers. It only unleashed a nightmare. Because the person hunting Missy was dressed head to toe in tactical police SWAT gear. Missy Bevers was a force of nature. She was energetic, beloved by her community, and a dedicated leader for a fitness boot camp called Camp Gladiator. But behind the bright smiles and the motivational social media posts, her personal life was fracturing. She was married to Brandon Bevers. To the outside world, they were a normal family. But behind closed doors, there was friction. Financial struggles were weighing heavily on the couple. There was intense marital tension. And investigators would later discover a trail of intimate, flirty messages between Missy and other men on LinkedIn. She had even received a creepy, anonymous message just days before her murder. Let's look at the morning of the attack. It is pouring rain. Missy pulls into the parking lot of the Creekside Church of Christ at 4:18 a.m. The security cameras capture her walking through the awning. She is carrying her fitness equipment. She is completely unaware that the church has been breached. Hours before she arrived, someone smashed through a glass door. They didn't come to pray. And they didn't act like a burglar. They were pacing the halls, waiting. But who breaks into a church in the middle of the night, dressed for a tactical siege? This is where the case becomes utterly terrifying. The church surveillance cameras capture the killer wandering the empty corridors. The footage is chilling. The suspect is wearing a police helmet, a tactical vest with the word police across the back, heavy gloves, shin guards, and they are carrying a heavy tactical tool, like a hammer or a pry bar. But watch the way they move. There is no sense of urgency. They are casually swinging the hammer, smashing windows, opening doors. They look relaxed, almost bored. They are not frantically searching for valuables. They are killing time. Then there is the walk. The suspect has a very distinct, peculiar gait. Their feet turn outward, especially the right foot. They walk with a slight waddle. It is the only humanizing trait visible beneath the heavy armor. Experts have debated this walk for years. Is it an injury? A natural duck-footed stance? Or are the boots just too big? A deliberate disguise to throw off the police. When Missy enters the building, the camera does not capture the murder, but the evidence tells a brutal story. This was not a robbery gone wrong. This was an ambush. Missy suffered devastating puncture wounds to her head and chest. The attacker overpowered her, struck with terrifying precision, and vanished into the rain. When the police arrived, the scene made absolutely no sense. If this was a burglary, why didn't the suspect steal anything? The church had expensive audio and visual equipment, laptops, soundboards. It was all left untouched. The smashed glass and pried doors were just a stage play, a theatrical setup to make it look like a break-in. This was a targeted assassination. Naturally, the police looked at the husband, Brandon Bevers. But Brandon had an ironclad alibi. He was out of state on a fishing trip in Mississippi. Then the public pointed the finger at Brandon's father, Randy Bevers. Randy had a very similar, distinctive walk. And just days after the murder, Randy walked into a dry cleaner with a blood-stained shirt. It seemed like the smoking gun. But the DNA test proved the blood belonged to a dog. Randy was cleared. the other men from Missy's private messages, interviewed and cleared. The SWAT gear completely masked the killer's identity. We don't even know if the killer is a man or a woman. The height is estimated between 5'2" and 5'7". Some female police officers have looked at the footage and sworn the posture and the hip movements belong to a woman, a jealous wife, a hired hitman. The heavy armor erased every clue, leaving investigators chasing a ghost. The murder of Missy Bevers is one of the most haunting, unsolved mysteries of the modern era. The killer did not just take a life. They put on a costume, stepped in front of the cameras, and dared the world to catch them. And the most terrifying part, they are still out there. The person in that tactical gear might be walking through a grocery store right now. They might have a slight limp. They might even be watching this video. Who do you think was hiding beneath that helmet? A scorned lover? A random psychopath? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. If this deep dive kept you on the edge of your seat, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. We have a lot more dark mysteries to unravel. Until next time, stay safe and always watch your back.